US visa situation is very, very dynamic. Every day there are changes, every single day.
We'll start the session. First of all, I would like to introduce today's speaker, which is Sachi Mall. Hi, Sachi. Welcome to this session. And it's always have been a pleasure to collaborate with Sachi and come up with these kind of sessions, right? And it's always fun and full of energy because there are so many people who join us, ask their questions, share their experiences with us. So it's always fun. Before we start, I would like to explain a bit more about all the offerings that Zolve has. Zolve has been there for more than 5 years in US, providing credit card to students. We have actually helped more than 100,000 students get a credit card and other products without an SSN, and before and after they move to US, right? This year, in spring, we have launched a Zolve Global Scholarship, which is worth $10,000. The link to apply for the scholarship you will get in the chat box. This is need based and merit based. You will get all the details on the link that will be shared on the chat box. We also have visa assistance, so we organize this free visa webinars that help you, that guides you to take the next step forward, which is led by experts like Sachi Mall. We have other experts, ex visa officers with whom we conduct such sessions. Um Before you move to US, we believe that every student should be fully prepared. By fully prepared, we mean that they should have a scholarship. They should know what is the next step, or what are the questions you're going to be asked, and how to answer them, right? So we also offer a free SIM card with Mint that you can get on the Zolve app. Why is important to have a free SIM card before you land to US? Because first, it is absolutely free and it gets delivered to your doorstep in India. So you don't need to bother about finding a SIM card when you actually land in the airport, right? You can actually start using it the moment you land in US and get connected with your loved ones. So we also have Zolve credit card and Zolve bank account, checking account that you can get without an SSN. As I mentioned, you we have helped more than 100,000 students in US get a credit card without an SSN, and you also get a credit limit up to $15,000. Right, so all your expenses can get covered on this Zolve credit card, and it also helps you build a credit score in US. So when you're actually going to US, there's not much awareness about credit score that a student need to build. But you will realize when you're in your third semester or fourth semester, when you're about to get your car loan, or when you're about to take any such loans, and if you have a if you have a good credit score, you will get the loan at a very cheaper rate of interest. So Zolve card is absolutely free. There's zero annual fee. You can just apply using your visa and passport, and you also get an overall benefit of $100. You will get that once you start up your application for the credit card. Again, the link to apply for the credit card will be in the chat box. We also offer Zolve checking account. For example, if you taking an education loan and you want your living expenses to get credited in a US bank account, you can go for a US checking account with Zolve. That is also without social security number you can get, and there's no minimum balance that you need to maintain, and the application fee is absolutely zero. Then yes, we when you're ready to go for your visa interview, we have an embassy approved folder that we are giving out for free, right? It has a lot of interesting stuff, like here you can see on the screen, visa to take off planner, these flashcards that will help you prepare for your visa interview in the last moment. You'll get a SIM card with that, right? All you need to do is download the Zolve app, go to store section, put your address, and it will be delivered to you home in India absolutely free. We already spoke about Zolve Global Scholarship, but guys, start application for the scholarship. You will get scholarship up to $10,000. $10,000 is the overall amount, and there will be a certain number of winners. Collectively, you will get $10,000, and the application will get closed on 15th of March. So make sure you apply before that. During the fall season, I've spoken to a few students, and they have said, ki, oh, I've started application for Zol Global Scholarship, but I actually forgot to complete the application because I thought that there's a lot of time for me to do that. So that is something you guys should not do. You should just complete your application, because the sooner you complete the application, the chances of you winning the scholarship increases, right? So yeah, complete your application and also spread the word, because there will be multiple winners. Yeah, in this all web, when you apply for the scholarship or you order your folder, you can also order your US SIM card, and $15 of recharge is free for you, right? And the SIM card is absolutely free. It is delivered to your doorstep in India. And if you're outside India, we are also offering eSIM cards. So yeah, all the details you'll get on the Zolve app. Now, without any further ado, over to you, Sachi. We can just get started. And just one last note, Rucha, whenever you're ready to share your experience, we are here. We are all ears, and every one of us are waiting for you to share your experience. Just raise a hand or put a message, and yeah, we will be happy to listen to your experience. Over to you, Sachi.
Right. Thank you, Manshi. Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for joining in. So, before we start, now that almost everyone's here, just to get a quick check, how many of you have your interview booked? Just type in a yes in the chat. Your interview slot is booked, it's coming up. How many of you? Okay. How many of you have a prior rejection? Just type in rejection. How many of you have a prior rejection? Okay, fine. So we'll definitely focus on the rejection questions. Is there anybody here who hasn't got a slot yet? No slot? Just type in no slot. Okay, got it. So I think we have a mix of people who have their appointment, people who most likely have a rejection and are waiting for a slot. Is there anybody here who has their visa done and is just waiting now to fly out? How many of you have your visa done? Anybody here whose visa is done? Okay, fine. All right. So primarily today's webinar will be focusing on the interview prep, since most of you either have a slot or you will be getting your appointment soon. So I have made a presentation. I'm going to share my screen with you and we'll go through this. We'll also be stopping in now and then to take your questions, right? So if you have any questions, keep it ready. And whenever we stop, you can raise your hand and ask your questions. Yeah, so let's get started. I think I don't need to introduce myself, right? Do I? Okay, so just a quick introduction. My name is Shachi. I have a YouTube channel. I don't know how many of you have seen these videos. So we have a YouTube channel primarily for US visa, in which we put content related to the visa interview. There's a lot of content on student visas. I'll be sharing some specific videos which might help you in the presentation as well. So yeah, let's get started. So we'll just start by doing a quick update on what's the availability of slots as of now. So this year, 2025 in general, there hasn't been any bulk opening. So in case you're unable to find the appointment, know that it's because the release of slots has been extremely less this year. So no bulk opening at all. And it's just on the basis of tracking and acting very quickly when a slots get released that people are able to book the appointment. And this is basically for the fresh applications. Those of you who have a rejection from 2025, there's a new rule that after a rejection, you will not get the slot immediately, and the waiting time is at least 6 to 7 months. In some cases, it's taken even 8 months to find an appointment. So if you have a rejection, know that most likely you'll have to wait it out for a 6 to 7 month period. Of course, it's US visa, rules change very quickly. Next year, they might just not, follow this rule anymore. But as of today, this is the cooling period that we have after a rejection. So do keep in mind that if you have a visa interview coming up, it's really, really important. You need to prepare thoroughly, prioritize it, because you don't want, this delay to happen in case there's a rejection. If you have any questions about slot, just put it in the chat. I won't stop here because I think most of you already are aware of this. So if in case any questions, just put it in the chat box. We can take it up in the end. I will move to the interview prep. So there are two main things I want to cover in the interview prep. One is embassy-wise specific questions, and then everything related to the rejection. So before I start, just want to tell you that whatever I'm discussing embassy-wise is applicable to those of you who have a rejection as well. Because when we discuss these questions and the structure, just do a check as to how you answered when the question came to you, and is there anything else that you can do to make those answer better. Also take it as a checklist for the next attempt, that when you are going to appear next, that time you can take all these pointers in mind, right, when you prepare for the interview. So primarily this year we saw the interviews happening in four embassies: Mumbai, Chennai, Hyderabad, and Delhi. Kolkata, either there were not many F1 interviews or the volume was just too less. And when we track the interviews across embassies, we saw some particular trend, some focus on, some questions in the interviews. So that's what we're going to discuss. But keep in mind that these questions are relevant even for the other embassy. For example, for Mumbai, if the focus is on university, university was also asked in the other embassy, just that it was asked more in Mumbai. That's the difference, right? So whatever we're discussing embassy wise, it's applicable for everybody. So it's just that how much they focused on that question. That's the difference. So to give you a quick snapshot, so Mumbai focused a lot on university, and this is in fact very consistent. Every intake we see that Mumbai focuses on university, other admits, why not this university, why not that university, those type of questions a lot. So that was the primary focus. Chennai was again profile based. So again, this is very consistent with how Chennai does the interview. They focus a lot on your profile. Profile means your academics and your work experience. So you will see that in Chennai, there are more questions about your degree, your grades, your work experience, these category of questions. Hyderabad, Hyderabad has like the biggest volume of interviews. So in Hyderabad, we always see a good mix. Usually, topics are like spread out. There's no particular concentration. But this time we saw a lot more questions on the course. Why this course? Why masters now? Also, funding seemed to be verified more in Hyderabad compared to the other embassy. Delhi, again, Delhi had a mix of questions, I would say, but if we were to pinpoint, they did focus more on the technical questions, and all the add-on questions like future plans, why US, why not study in your home country. These type of add-on questions seem to be more in the Delhi embassy. So this is just to give you like a snapshot of the trend which is happening as of 2025. And now we'll go into the specific questions and I'll share some insights. And like I said, even if you're not going to give the interview in that embassy, it'll still be applicable to you because that question might come, right, for you as well. So let's dive in. How many of you here have your interview in Mumbai? Anybody here going to Mumbai for the interview?
I mean, you guys can just type Mumbai
Just
into
type
the.
in Mumbai. Yeah. Anybody here going to Mumbai? Okay, fine. So, all right. Okay, great. So we have some people from Mumbai. So for Mumbai Embassy, I'm going to discuss the most important question, why this university? And Mumbai Embassy asks this a lot, but even other embassies ask this. So for why this university, we have a video which we had released some time back. This is the video. And this is, I would say, like an updated video because it talks about, like a format or framework I would, which you can use to come up with this answer. So for why this university, there are few quick guidelines. Number one is the way the officers have started thinking of this answer has changed. Okay. In the last 1 year, there's a complete shift. Uh, about year and a half back, this answer could be very factual. Like, you could tell a lot of facts about the university, that this university has this club, they have this so and so research center, they have all of these initiatives. These type of answers used to work, and even we used to focus, on factual details. But in the last 1.5 year, I think because of the information overload, and just because everybody is, I think, being so well prepared nowadays, they have stopped liking factual answers. So when you prepare this answer, make sure that you don't bombard the officer with a lot of facts. Either he's not going to like it or he's not going to listen. He'll interrupt you. Structure this answer so that you have 2 to 3 core points. Okay. One point is academic. That means it's related to your course. What is it that was different or good or special about the course? One point is personal, something that you connected personally with the university or which clicked for you at a personal level. And one point is something which could be factual or which could be unique, like something that you found that okay, this university has this very interesting. So keep it a mix. Don't make it 100% factual. One academic, one unique point, and one related to the personal. So that's exactly what is explained in this video. We have some samples as well, so you can do, you can check it out. And when you frame the answer, keep in mind that the course has to be the cornerstone. That's the change that we are seeing this time, that academic is the main reason. Don't start your answer with a personal reason like weather, location, friend. Start with the core academic reason and build upon that with one factual point and one personal point, right? So that's the way you think of why this university. This time we also saw a lot of focus on these two questions. What are your other admits? So we were analyzing data of interview trends and we observed that almost every interview had two questions. Which were the other admits you applied or which other admits you got, and why this university? So what are your other admits is equally important as the university you're going for. So have a thorough list of it. If you don't have other admits, you need to be justified as to why you have only one admit. And also you need to prepare why not the other admits, right? So quick pointer on preparing this, just like how you prepare why this university, prepare a counter of why not the other university. And you could go in the same structure, like the course, maybe something was lacking in the course. Personally, there was something that, it couldn't connect with you, or there was something unique that you were trying to find, but you didn't find in the university. So mirror the two answers, like one which worked and one which did not work. And do this for all the admits that you have, because the visa officer could ask you, what are your admits? And he could randomly pick and say, why not this particular university? So I would say that the main thing about your preparation has to be centered around the university. And these are the three key questions that you need to prepare. Any doubts or anybody wants to share their answer, get feedback on that, we can stop for maybe, I think, 2 to 3 minutes.
Yeah, all right. If you guys want to share your answer, just raise your hand so that we can give you access. And if there's any improvement required in your answer, we can help you fix that. If you want to share your answer, just raise your hand.
Or any doubts while preparing the university question. Okay, I'll just take some questions from the chat. So AM is asking, is it okay if I have not applied to any other university? So see, for a visa officer, this is like a basic check they do, that how did you arrive at this process, right? When you say that you have applied to only one university, it sort of contradicts the whole intent, that you did your research, you saw everything, and from there you chose. So having one admit, or rather applying to one university, is never a good option. So I would modify this answer and put it in a way that I did my research. I wanted to apply to 3 or 4 universities, but I started with this university because this was my top priority. And I got the admit quickly, so I didn't need to apply anywhere else. So this way, at least you show the approach, that you took the approach of doing your research, of finding other universities, just that you started with your preferred one and you got that admit. Okay. And obviously, you have to know the other universities. So if they ask you what were the other universities you wanted to apply, you should have those names. So you actually have to do that research and see what were the other universities you potentially could have applied. Okay. Um,
Pratik, do you want to share your answer? You can just unmute yourself and go ahead.
I have one question. Actually, I applied to two university. One university has given me admit letter, and second university didn't process my file because they had some issue over there. So these two university only I applied. And actually, in October 6th, I had visa interview. I was rejected, and they asked me only four questions, like why this course, how many university you have applied, and why you choose this university. The third one was funding, and fourth one was related to my father income. I have given an interview in Delhi consulate. Actually, I was looking for Mumbai, but date were not matching as my course was going to start on October 20.
Which are the two universities? Can you tell us the names?
One is Washington University in St. Louis, which I have selected and I got admit letter. And second university is University of Staten Island, New York.
Okay. How many years of experience do you have?
I have more than 6 years of work experience in my family business, and I have selected business analytics.
See, applying to getting one admit, I wouldn't say that's the only reason for rejection. There will be other things. I'll be coming to the rejection bit, questions in a bit. But just from what you're saying, see, the more experience you have, right, the better they expect your university to be. And with 6, 7 years of experience in the current scenario, the safe bet is to have university within top 100, top 120, not beyond that. So somewhere he would have felt that with your profile and your experience, that university that you're going to is not really a match.
Actually, my
Okay.
university ranking is about 20.
Overall, all over US ranking, not for
Yeah,
particular course,
no, yes,
right?
yes,
So,
US ranking.
Washington State, right?
Washington University in St. Louis, all in business school.
Okay. Then I think we'll have to figure out some other reasons of your thing. So just hold on for a bit. We'll come to the
Yes.
rejection part. Okay. Anybody has any questions for university? We can cover that and then we'll move to the rejection as well.
I think there's one question,
Yeah.
are visa officers, approving the visas primarily for Ivy League students? Do they have a upper hand this year?
Yes, but that was always the case. It's not just this year. Ivy League generally, will have more visa acceptances. This year, the scrutiny on university has been more. That's definitely the case. That earlier you could get away with like a lower ranked university with few other positives in your profile. But this year, that's not the case. Like the scrutiny on university is a lot more. Having said that, we've seen approvals as well. It's not like it's absolute zero. There have been approval for mid-ranked, universities which are, I would say, somewhere like, let's say, 180 to 200 within this range. So let me progress. I mean, go to this, and I think we'll cover more about the rejection. So yeah, this is for Mumbai. Quickly touching upon Chennai. So anybody here for Chennai for the Chennai interview? Anybody here? Okay, tomorrow. Fine, great. So for people like Brendan and others who are going to Chennai, keep in mind that Chennai does follow a very profile-based evaluation, and it's always been the case. So the focus will be on your profile, your education, and experience. And the main thing is how the three are connected. Okay, so this is something that you need to do right from your DS 160 form. So your undergrad, your work experience, and the course, they all need to align. And when I say align, it need not be exactly the same. It's not necessary that you have to do computer science bachelor's, computer science work experience, computer science master's. It could be in related domains, but any sudden switch or any change, right? Let's say that you did your undergrad in civil and then you worked in IT. So these type of changes and switch could be questioned. So that's what you need to be prepared. And the way to prepare is always connect things which are common. Like, for example, maybe you did bachelor's in civil, but in the first year you did study programming languages, or maybe you had an option to take some electives which were towards the technical side, or on your own you did some online courses or some certifications, and that motivated you to go into this field and work in the IT domain. So always think of connects which could be there between these transitions, and that's how you can explain it to the visa officer. Okay. Plus this year we saw two new questions being asked. How does your undergrad relate to the course in the US, and how does your work experience relate to the course in the US. So, quickly give you a structure to frame this answer. When they say, how does your undergrad relate to the master's or the course in the US? Pick two subjects from your undergrad and two subjects from your master's and tell the officer that, for example, in my undergrad, I studied statistics and maths, and in my master's, I'm going to do analytics. So that's how it's connected. Give one more example. In my undergrad, I studied basics of programming languages. In my master's, I'm going to study machine learning and algorithms. So my undergrad subjects gave me the foundation, right? Same thing for your work experience. Pick two work roles and two subjects and connect the work role to the subject from the master. For example, in my current work, I'm dealing with data, I'm doing data handling, data processing. And in my master's, I'm going to study about big data, I'm going to study machine learning. So all of these are the advanced data related subjects, right? Give one more example. So connect subject to subject or work role to a subject and have at least two such examples ready when the officer asks you these questions. Sometimes I also ask, how does your background connect to the course in the US? When he says background, he means both your education as well as your work. So you could give one example from your education and one example from your work experience. Okay. So for Chennai Embassy, primarily focus on this profile. Of course, other things as well, but yeah, profile would be, I would say, would be more important. Any questions related to profile? If you have a rejection, just wait. Okay. I'm going to come to the rejection part. Profile based, any questions? Okay, so there's a question that 2024 passed out without any work experience. Will there be questions on the gap? Yes, so that's a very good question. And again, that's an important point that this time gaps have also got focused. See, basically the whole approach is it's like digging into your profile, right? Wherever they can find something to question, that's being questioned. So gaps can be questioned. If it's 2024 graduate, that means you have about 1.5 years of gap. So you need to structure it. Gaps can be structured in different ways. It could be through courses, it could be through internships. If you have a family business, that's a good way to explain the gap. If you gave a visa interview in between all this, that's also a way to explain the gap. That after my undergrad, I wanted to pursue master's, so I was preparing for that. And since I had a visa rejection, I had to wait it out. And during that time, I have done courses, I have done certifications, I've done internships, whatever you have done. So yeah, definitely structure the gap and think of it as six months chunk. Okay, instead of explaining 1.5 year, divide it into 6 months or 9 and 9 months, and then explain to the officer what did you do in that period. Um, okay, I'm going for masters in information systems at Northeastern, but my I-20 mentions computer software engineering. What should I say when the visa officer asks me? Okay, so this is again a very common problem, and this happens with a lot of universities. So you have to do two things. Number one, take the admit letter where the actual course is mentioned. Your I-20 might say something else, but you'll have the admit email or an admit letter from the university where your real course is mentioned. So that's the first thing. Carry that with you. Second thing, when the visa officer asks you this question, tell both. How do you say both? So you say that I'm going for master's in XYZ. That's the actual course. But in my I-20, it is mentioned as XYZ. So tell both to the officer. And if he asks you the reason, you can mention that I discussed this with my university and this is how they classify the course for the I-20. But I'm carrying the admit letter which has the actual course. Okay. One more profile-based question. Do they ask experience beyond 5 years? I'm 38 years old with a decade of experience, but last 5 years is good relevant experience. Okay, this is also a great question, and this is something which is important. So your entire work experience will be checked. Okay, they're not going to look at only 5 years. It will be the entire experience. However, the way you have to frame and the way you have to structure your profile is exactly like this, that the last 5 years, or rather, I would say even shorten it, the last 2 to 3 years, make that more relevant to the program. So, this way, when the officer asks why now you want to study, you will basically tell him that I've been working for about 10 years, but over the 10 years, my roles has been changing. And the last 2 to 3 years, I'm involved in XYZ, and that motivated me, or that made me realize that I need to study and acquire these particular skills. So don't try to justify your master's or your study plans from 10 years of experience, but only from the last 2 to 3 years, and make sure that that last 2 to 3 years looks different or looks more advanced from the remaining. DS-160, yes, DS-160 asks for 5 years, but in DS-160 also you can fill, even beyond 5 years. But when you frame the answers, that time you make sure that you connect the last 2 to 3 years. All right. Anybody would like to raise their hand and ask any question related to profile? Okay, I'll take a couple of more questions from chat. Yeah, Rinkesh, you want to raise your hand? I mean, you want to ask a question?
Yeah, Rinkesh, you can just unmute
Yeah.
yourself and ask the question.
Yes, hello.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rinkesh.
I just wanted to know, like, my family is sponsoring me for my whole education, and they are going to cover my living expenses as well. And I've listened and I've seen so many videos about the whole process that for the interview, they more intend to the candidates who have secured the education loan. So they look it as a green flag. And other than that, what is the scenario? Like, if I'm not securing a education loan, then it's a red flag or what? I just want to know.
So it's like it's not that simple. You have to like really get down to the details. So there are two parameters. What is your family's income? Okay. And what is the 1 year of expense as per your I-20?
Okay, so you're
If
ex-
your
yeah,
yeah,
go
so
ahead.
sorry. So if your family's income is more than 1 year of expense, that's
Mm-hmm.
reflecting in your I-20.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Which means that most likely your savings is already more than the entire education expense. That means if it's a 2 year program, more than 2 years. Okay. If
Okay.
these two parameters are okay, then it's fine to not have a loan. Okay, so I'm
Un-
just repeating myself. If the family's income, annual income is more than the 1 year expense of the I-20, that means your family is making more money than what they have to spend on you.
of
Okay.
course.
And yeah, and the second is if the savings that they have, okay, that means their bank account FDs, that's already more than the total expense of your education. That means, say it's a 2 year master's, the total 2 year expense.
Okay.
If that's the situation, it's okay to not have a loan.
So that's the
Yeah.
thing. Like in India, we do not, showcase how much money we are making on IT return.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's a less amount as always. But we have showcased, movable and immovable assets with the CA certificate, and it's more than a 1 crore. And my whole education is going to cost me like 40 lakh rupees in Indian currency.
So then I would say it's somewhere in the middle. It's not very strong funding, but it's also not very weak.
Okay,
Because
that's
see, for the visa officer income, like you said, because it's like something which is difficult to see. What
yeah.
happens is with savings, they don't trust much because they know that funds could be transferred to your account.
Understood.
But they know
Understood.
that income is a very genuine parameter.
Mm-hmm.
So if you observe interviews, you will see there are more questions on what is your father's income rather than how much money does your father have, right? Why is that?
Yeah.
Because income is a more genuine parameter. So from what you're describing, it's somewhere in middle. To be really safe, get a loan.
But it's very too late. I have 2 days left in my interview,
Okay.
and
Okay. Yeah. Then I would say describe your funding, add everything like savings, asset, and you can just tell the officer that I've started the loan process. Just say it like that.
can I say that it's
Yeah.
in the process and it can be granted in any day?
In the process, you won't have any proof, right? Because you've not started.
Yeah.
So say that I also plan to apply for a loan. Say it like that.
Okay.
Okay. Be careful with the proofs. Don't say anything which you don't have anything to justify. Okay.
Of course.
And Rikesh, don't worry if you haven't started your loan process yet. We also offer education loan. So just ping me and I'll connect you to the loan officers and they can initiate the application tomorrow only.
Yeah. And
Oh,
then you can say, "Yeah, I've started the loan." Okay.
You don't have to
of
lie in
course.
that time.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah. All right.
Brent
Brendan has an interview.
Brendan has his interview tomorrow, so let's see. Yeah,
Yeah.
Brendan, how do you feel, first of all? How prepared are you?
I am fully prepared as of now. I have done, 3 years of my work experience. I've been working into food infrastructure. I mean, food manufacturing company, and
Okay.
I have completed my bachelor's in commerce, and I'm going for my master's in MBA.
Mhm.
And the core specialization is in AI. So I'm pretty good and very confident about.
Oh,
So, do you have any questions for us?
Then I think you accidentally muted yourself.
Yeah, I just was allowing the other person to talk. So
Oh, sorry, sorry. Yeah, go ahead, please.
yeah, so as Sachi asked, yeah, I'm pretty prepared. I'm still confused as always as a student, like what questions I'll be asked. So as I have my interview in Chennai, so as you told, is more profile based. So I just wanted to ask this question where I have work experience of two years of total, but after 1 year I switched two companies. So first year I worked 1 year, and the next 2 years I switched two companies. That's because I didn't get my slot, and I again applied and got a job for the past 6 months. So will this affect any questions which I will have for the interview?
Is the profile the same, like the work roles, the
Yes,
domain of work?
yes,
Is
the
it the
domain
same?
is the same.
Okay. See,
Yeah.
if there's no change in domain, then when you describe your work experience, don't go company wise. Club
Okay.
it together, say that I have total of 2 years of experience in so and so domain. Okay.
Okay.
And the roles also keep it like similar in the sense you don't have to go company wise.
Okay.
Okay. If the visa officer asks you why there's a switch, I think tell exactly what has happened. That initially I had plans to go for the fall intake.
Okay.
And since my company had some notice period, I had to inform them.
Okay.
Okay. But since I didn't get the appointment, I rejoined and it's similar work roles. So that's how I've been able to, perform quickly without
Okay.
any training. Yeah.
Okay.
So keep it like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Sachi. Yeah. Good.
All the best.
Okay. Wish you the best. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Should we
All
take?
right. Yeah. One more question and we can move on.
Yeah, Mohammed, you can just go ahead. Yeah, Mohammed.
Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah. I applied through financial aid loan from Empower Financing. So I got a 20 through that. So in my 20, it is listed that all my like expenses is covering through financial aid. So can I show them personal savings that I have in addition of personal saving to visa officer, or just that loan letter is enough?
Yeah, definitely show personal saving. So, see, funding always has to be like a balance, right? If you show too much reliance on a loan is a liability. It's on you to repay. So, bigger loan means the more likely you are to work in the US, stay back there, right? So, never show 100% reliance on a loan. It should always be balance funding. The basic concept of finance, right? The like you never rely on one source for money, right? You diversify. Same thing. So if your family has savings, if they have assets, you can include it. Whatever is there in I-20 should be mentioned, but we can always mention beyond that.
Yeah, on my
So yes,
20 it is mentioned that
salary.
all my like what I say that tuition fees and expenses is covering my
Yeah,
financial aid.
yeah, yeah.
Uh,
Financial aid
so
means loan, right? You're
and
referring to
also
the loan,
my university
basically.
is cheaper. It's like $29,000
Mhm.
covering all the expenses, food, living, and tuition.
Yeah,
So should I consider showing them personal savings funds?
yes. Still consider showing because even if you have, let's say, a loan sanction of, let's say, 50K USD, not necessarily you have to use, right? So you
Okay.
can always put it in this way that I have a loan sanction plus I have my family savings. I'll use a mix of both. Okay, so yeah,
Okay.
go ahead, mention your savings. Okay, all
So
right.
how much can I show them?
Yeah.
What do you recommend? How much
Uh,
funds?
I can't tell you any number. It depends on your family's income saving. But if I were to just give you a very rough number, whatever is 1 year expense of I-20, if that much savings you show, that's good. Because that's exactly what we are saying, that half you loan and half from your family savings. Okay. But
Okay.
obviously this should be relevant to the income they have and all these things. Okay. But yeah, a very rough benchmark is 1 year of the I-20 expense. Okay.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, guys, let's move. Next, we'll talk about Hyderabad and then Delhi. So Hyderabad, like I said, it was both Hyderabad and Delhi were a mix, I would say, and also because these two embassies had the highest volume of interviews. Hyderabad had more focus on course. So officers asked more questions on why masters now, how will this course help you, why double masters, all of these questions. And by the way, they are all the same. Okay. So many times we see that students frame two answers, one for why this course and one for why masters. They're the same question. So why course, why this master's, why master's now, how will this help you? Prepare one answer for all of these. And again, for this, we have a video, this one, right, which explains how to structure it. And there's a student also who shared like her sample answers and how she prepared. So go after the session, just go back and just search for this video and you can watch it. But I just wanted to quickly share with you one framework that we use. And the reason I'm sharing is because when I interact with students, very, very commonly, when I ask them why this course, the answer I get is something to the line that this course will help me, overcome my career limitation. It'll help me upscale in my field. It'll help me get better job. None of this is wrong, but the problem is it's not specific to that course. When the officer is asking why this course, he wants to know why business analytics or why MBA or why masters in computer science, right? So there is a framework that we follow called the triangle. What you have to do, you have to make first the corners of the triangle, right? First corner is where you are right now. Okay, think of where you are right now, whether you're a student, you're working, and what is your limitation, right? For example, I'm currently working in data domain, but I'm limited to just data handling. I'm not able to do the data modeling. I'm not able to do the actual problem solving. So that's my first corner. Okay. The second corner of this triangle is the course. What is it in the course that will help you overcome this problem? So in my master's, let's say that I have a subject on data modeling and I have a subject on machine learning. If I do these two, my problem that I'm not able to do data modeling gets fixed. Okay, so that's my second corner. The third corner of the triangle is what happens to me if I do that course? That means where do I land? So right now I'm an analyst. If I do this course, maybe I become a data engineer or maybe I become a data architect. And then you connect the three. Okay, so first corner is my problem where I am right now. Second corner is the course. What is it in the course? Very specific. That's solving it. Third corner is where will I go? The future, if I solve this problem. And then you connect the three, and that's how you get a very unique plus, a very convincing answer for why this course. So essentially, I would say something like this, that I'm working as a data analyst, but I'm limited to data handling and processing. I'm not yet able to move into the modeling and the problem solving. This master's has these subjects. If I do it, I'll have a better career profile as a data engineer or a data architect. So apply this to any situation. For example, why masters now? If they ask, like somebody was asking previously. So here I would say that I have worked for about 10 years, but from the last 2 years, I'm doing XYZ. Still, there's a limitation. And that's how I found the course to overcome this limitation. And if I do this, then I'll get better career profiles as so and so in my home country. Okay, so if you have framed your answer for why this course, just do a quick check. Is it passing this test, right? Is it actually going through this transition and explaining these things to the officer? Okay, because course, I feel is a question which is so important and it's very likely for the officer to ask. So just follow this. And along with that, technical questions, some were in other embassies, but a lot in Delhi, we saw technical questions. So make sure that whatever terms you're using, you know how to explain. For example, I said data architect as my future plan. I should know what a data architect does, right? Officer can ask me, what do you mean by a data architect? Or how is it different from a data analyst that you're doing right now? So whatever terms, technical, jargons you are using, make sure that you know it, you prepare for it. Funding, a couple of people have already asked questions on funding, but yeah, two very, very important checks to do on funding. First of all, it has to be consistent with your I-20, right? And this again has to start from your DS-160 form. Your DS-160 form, your answers has to align with what is written in the I-20. If I-20 says personal funds, which means either it's your savings or it's a loan. Same thing you have to tell to the officer. To that, you can always add on family, scholarships, whatever else. But what is mentioned in writing in I-20 should remain. That's number one. Number two, also, one thing that we observed in some of the rejections which happened was that the answers didn't have the details. So this time I feel they're looking for details. For example, for funding, don't say my family is supporting me and they have a good income and they can take care of it. Incomplete. Give numbers that my family is supporting me, their annual income is XYZ, their total net worth or saving is XYZ, which is more than the 2 years of my expense. So I'm fully covered or my funding is being done by my family. Okay. So get down to the details and just one quick thing. Keep the numbers consistent in one currency. Don't switch from INR, USD, USD, INR. Either everything in INR or everything in USD. Many times we see that the students they use USD for the loan and INR for the saving. It's very confusing, right? To like process two numbers. So keep it consistent. Okay. And yeah, quick pointers about additional questions like why US, future plan. Future plan is a simpler one, I feel, for all the visa interview questions that come. It's straightforward. You have to come back, no doubt about it. Do not say, I'll get some experience about in OPT or, I'll try to gain some work experience. Don't go into that. Keep it simple that I plan to or I intend to. Okay, that's how you're going to say. You're not saying I'm coming back. I plan to or I intend to because it's an intent that you have to show, right? And make it very specific that I can come back. This is the type of sector. These are the type of companies. If you have already worked in one company, it's a big enough or a reputed enough company and you can come back and rejoin them. You can even mention that, but keep it very clean and straightforward. Many times students forget to mention in my country or I'll come back to India. They mention I'll work as, so and so architect or I'll work in so and so industry, but make it specific to India. And why US? Anybody wants to share their answer for why US? So if somebody here is confident of their answer, why US, and you want to share it, uh, we can do it that way instead of me telling you. Anyone here? Brendan, you've prepared, right? Can you share your answer for why US?
Yeah, let's put Brendan on the spot. He hasn't.
Yeah, Brendan, go on. Why US?
Yes, so I've written it down and still preparing that. I'll just share what. So I'll just give a brief of my course. I'm going for accounting and analytics. I'll just start with the answer. So given my background is in accounting and operation and automation in artificial intelligence, and I have diligently worked in global firms like Russell Tobin and DoorDash Merited. A master's in US will help me gain advanced knowledge to help me implement in these things in Indian growing companies and to help these sectors grow.
Why US? We're not talking of why masters. Why do you want to do this masters in US? Why not in your home country? Why not somewhere else?
So I have prepared like a master's in US will help me uh, give advanced knowledge in US GAAP and accounting principles, which is a huge skill in big four companies in India.
Okay, but why highlight US gap? How like why US gap if you're working in India?
Because there are a lot of GCC companies in India who have set up their offshore entities, and these are mainly and the main big fours, the Deloitte, EY, KPMG, PwC, and KPMG are all US based companies, and they require US GAAP.
Exactly, right? So that should have been there. So that's what I meant. You have to be very specific about the industry in India and the companies in India. If you just say, I'm going to learn US GAAP, I will assume you want to work in the US,
Okay.
right? So get down to the details. Why US? Because the field I want to study of accounting analytics is more advanced. I can learn better concepts of US GAAP and maybe analytics as well. Okay.
Okay.
And when I come back, this will help me in the big four companies in India who need exactly this expertise.
Okay.
So I have a better qualification if I study in the US.
Okay.
Are you
Thank you
seeing
so
the
much.
difference?
Yes.
Right?
Yes. Yes.
So think real, think like in very, very real terms. What will happen to me when I come back to India and how this degree is going to be helpful?
Sure.
Okay. We can take one more answer. Anybody else? Somebody said I have the perfect answer. Who's that? Rupak, do you want to share? I'm really curious to hear your answer. Rupak, do you want to
Vinay,
share your answer?
yeah, Vinay, if you want to, you can also share. He has already shared on the chat box, but
Can you hear me?
Okay.
Hello.
yeah, Rupa, go ahead.
Yeah, so I'm from a healthcare sector. I'm a physiotherapist. So I just gave my like interview in the month of December, like
Mhm.
December 8th. So my answer is the US has the strongest integration of physiotherapy and exercise science. Moreover, US gives hands-on training in areas like biomechanics, exercise physiology, and performance testing. So these skills aren't widely available in India right now, and my goal is to return and work with Indian Olympic athletic teams. So Officer, getting this advanced training in the US will help me contribute more effectively in India's sports rehab system. So that's the reason I'm moving towards the US.
Okay. Were you asked this question in the interview?
Yeah, absolutely. So they
Okay.
asked me like 7, 8 questions, and
Mhm.
after funding, they rejected me and they said you are not eligible.
No, no. Were you asked this why US question in the interview?
Yeah.
Okay. Were you able to complete the entire answer in the interview?
Absolutely. Yeah. He was listening like all of my answers.
Okay. It's a good answer, no doubt. The only thing is it's long and there are too many terms.
Mm-hmm.
So after the first two lines, I felt a little lost. What are you now talking about, right?
Uh-huh.
So is this master's in kinesiology? Is that what you're going for? What's the course?
Yes. Masters in exercise science, kinesiology. Yeah,
Exercise
that's
science.
same.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I think first thing is there's a fundamental difference that in India we incline more towards physiotherapy masters,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Whereas in US, both are available. You have exercise science and you have physiotherapy. So I think first thing to keep it simple, highlight this fundamental lack
Mm-hmm.
that when I tried to find courses in India, I found more of physiotherapy,
Mm-hmm.
but we don't have advanced programs in exercise science and kinesiology, which I found in
Mm-hmm.
US. And then I have just one more point, what I think somewhere
Mm-hmm.
in the second line, what you were mentioning.
Yeah.
Okay, that about those specific techniques and training
Mm-hmm.
that you wanted. And then just
Actually,
quickly round it off by
mm-hmm.
saying that it will help you find, advanced roles like training an Olympic team and etc. What you want.
Mm-hmm. So I
Yeah.
did mention this point when he asked me why this university and program.
Mhm.
Do you have this like course in India? So I did mention this point to him that no, we don't have like dedicated exercise science program which will help
Yeah.
me to uh, get these subjects done. I also like mentioned name of my subjects. So
Mhm.
I mentioned like everything, but it was my finances. I think it got me towards the rejection.
Okay. If you have mentioned, and this is the one, this primarily seems okay. Which university is this?
It was University of Texas at Arlington.
Okay. University is also fine. UT, in fact, is a good program on
Mm.
kinesiology.
Mm.
We'll have to look a little bit deeper, I think,
Yeah.
Rupa, right? Like, what else? Could be finances, could be your form. Also,
Yeah.
one common thing which happens in such programs is if your work experience in the form is all towards physiotherapy,
Mm-hmm.
okay, and you're saying you want to go for exercise science, that also could be a reason for rejection.
Okay.
Because for the officer, they see it as a switch in domain. That from
Mm.
physiotherapy, you want to go into exercise science. For them, it's two different domains.
Okay.
So also do a check on your work role. Did you write only physiotherapy roles or did you write something which aligned with kinesiology and with exercise science?
Mm. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll connect to
All
you
right.
like
Yeah.
personally. Yeah.
Reach back after the
Definitely.
session. Yeah.
Sure.
So,
Thank you.
guys, this is a embassy-wise trends and also the core, the important questions, right? So, university, why this university, explaining how your bachelor's and work experience is aligned with the master's in the US, why this course, funding, and why US and future plan, right? These are our core. So, though like I said, the concentration is spread out across embassy, but prepare for all of these questions, no matter where you're going. Okay. Now we'll come to the rejection. So since there are a lot of questions about rejection, what I'm going to do, I'll quickly give an overview, and then I think we can take up specific cases, right? So that I think will be more helpful. So one thing is this time the margin for error is zero. Okay, and I'm not just saying it just to make it sound like a great statement. That's true. Earlier years, we would see that okay, this thing is a little off, but we can cover it up. We can make it up with other things. This year it has not worked, right? The margin for error is zero. That means wherever there is even a slight reason for an officer to pinpoint something, okay, that has happened. So there are six areas that we see that potentially lead to rejection. So you need to make sure that all of these six, your bases are like perfect, okay, they're covered. First is university. So, like I said before, university, not having a good university and not able to justify that university, both together, is, I would say, the number one reason for rejection. So, either the university is low ranked or not fit enough for your profile, or you were not able to justify why you picked that university, right? Both, any one of these factors being true, I would say is the number one reason for rejection. So, do a quick check on your university make sure that how you justify it, like I told you, that structure, okay? Personal reason, one academic reason. Don't make it all factual, okay? Second, DS-160 form. DS-160 form has become, I feel, more important this year. So if you observe, the interviews have become longer. F1 interviews have become longer this year. And we see that officers are actually going through the form, reading the form, and asking questions. So, like somebody who just pointed out, about their rejection. So, is your work experience aligning with the course in the US? Is your reason for rejection explained? Is your funding matching the I-20, right? So, all these checks need to be there about the DS-160 form. And again, we have a full-fledged video on YouTube which explains DS-160 form for F1 visa. So do check it and take it as a checklist, right? That are all these things done for my form. And remember, even if you have submitted the form, but your biometric is not done, you can still correct, you can fill the form again. So take that time. If your biometric is not yet done, that I can still, fix my form. Communication, again, saw this being very important. Though the interviews are longer, they're letting you talk more, but they seem to be more scrutinizing towards how you speak, how your body language is, right? So once your answers are framed, make sure that you're speaking it out. Stand in front of a mirror or get somebody, to take your mock and speak it out and make sure that these answers are coming out fluently and they're sounding natural. Profile inconsistency, so gaps being a bigger problem this year. And like I said, any switch in domain, anything which is not aligning with your bachelor's or your work experience, that is being flagged. Funding was always a reason for rejection, I would say, but yeah, incomplete documentation in the sense that the DS-160 and the I-20 not aligning, plus not giving specific numbers when you give the answers, right? That's the thing with funding and previous rejection. So this is again an important thing. So prior rejections also have more weightage now, and this rejection need not be in F1. If you had a B1, B2 rejection or any other category rejections, even that is being checked. So if you have a rejection, look at these 6 factors and try to see which factors was the reason. It need not be one, it can be multiple. Okay. But you will find that somewhere it lies within the 6 parameters. Yeah. So, Manshi, how should we do this? Should we take up some specific cases for rejection, or do you have?
Sure, I think we can take some specific cases. Guys,
Yeah.
if you want to discuss your rejection cases, you can just raise your hand and yeah, we can have a discussion and other people can also learn from that.
Yeah.
Yana has raised his hand. Yeah, go ahead, please.
Hi, Sach. I spoke to you on Instagram about my rejection, I think few like a month back. So I
Mhm.
had my rejection in Delhi. It was on 12th August, and my I-20 also had 12th August written on my I-20. So I was supposed to reach to my uni on 12th August. So I entered. It was like, why US? I just told him normally that I'm going in for my education purposes. I'm going for my bachelor's in biochemistry at Iowa State University. And then later on he asked me, what subjects are you gonna like learn there in a first semester? So I said that I'm gonna do my organic chemistry, Alex, then English, and also like biology. And then he asked me, which other universities did you apply to? So I said I applied to 3 universities. One was Iowa State University, Xavier's University, which is in Ohio, and MCPHS Boston. Then he asked me, why this, like, why this university? So I told him that, like, it's giving me great experience. It's like first experience in lab work and everything, and that's how I explained. I don't even remember what I said to him, but yeah, but I just said that, like why it's different than the other universities, and it's aligning with my coursework and everything. And then he asked me, wait, he also asked me this one question. Let me just go through. I think I don't
Any
even.
scholarship from the university? Did you get any
No.
scholarship?
So apparently, I applied to that university in May. So I got it after, like, I applied to that university after my board results came out.
Okay. And when did you finish your 12th?
I completed my 12th in March, through ISC board.
This year itself.
Yes, and I've reapplied for an, like, I've reapplied right now for a visa interview right now, but I have not gotten any date yet.
Yeah.
And my parents had a visa interview again in Delhi, and their visa got accepted, and my sisters got rejected for B1, B2.
Okay. Okay, fine. So, from what you're saying, see, Iowa State as a university is okay. It's not like it's not like a low ranked or something which is prone to rejection.
Mm-hmm.
At bachelor's level, scholarship helps a lot. So you can discuss with your university for the next intake if they can give you a scholarship.
Okay.
Okay. Second, from the answers that you've told me, two things. Why this university, you're saying you don't remember exactly, but from whatever you're saying, it sounds very factual,
Mm-hmm.
right? Why this university should have been a comparison that out of my these two admits, the ones that you mentioned, this is a
Yeah.
positive, or this is the reason I prefer.
Okay.
So that answer probably not very convincing for the visa officer.
Okay.
Second is your other admits. What are they? Aren't they like much lower ranked from
Yeah.
this?
Yeah. Could be. Yeah.
Yeah.
Xavier's and
So
MCPHS.
So that's also a problem because if you have one like around 100 and one lower ranked, many times I
Mm-hmm.
think that when you go to the US, you'll switch
Mm-hmm.
to the lower ranked, and that's what actually happens in reality.
Okay. Okay.
So I feel the university area is the problem, not having a scholarship, not being able to justify the university, and also having other admits which are very different.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Because they didn't
So
ask me for my funding. He didn't even ask me for my
he did
funding or
see,
anything like that.
guys, this is for everybody. Funding, if you see interview, funding usually comes in the end.
Okay.
Why is that? They will ask funding only if they're convinced of the basic things.
Okay.
Once he's convinced of your university, your profile, your intent, then he will check funding. Otherwise, they don't ask funding.
And then he also asked me why this university and how many credits do you need to graduate.
Yeah. So I think Yana, just focus on the university. Try I don't think you need to change the university as such, but yeah, try and get a scholarship. And yeah, now that you'll have a gap, also think about that. How you will,
So do
cover
you
this one
think
year and
I can get a slot after 3 months of rejection? Is there any chance or anything
not
like
as
that?
of now. As of today, no. I think you'll have to be prepared for the summer intake.
Summer
That's what.
intake.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you
Okay.
so much.
Yeah.
All right.
Guys, we'll move a little quickly, okay? Yeah.
We'll take two
Should we
more.
take?
We'll
Yeah.
Parvinder,
Parvinder, yeah.
go ahead.
Hello, ma'am.
Hi, Parvinder.
Ma'am, I want to ask that like my interview was on 4th December and the officer asked me a couple of questions. Then he took out the 221G slip. Then he asked me one question that do you have any relative or family member in the US? I said no. He asked me this question three times, but my family, my brother, my mother and father are in the US. I said no because I did not mention about them. So, ma'am, I just want to take a suggestion from you that should I apply again? Is there any chance of getting approval or not?
You got 221G or 214B then, finally?
He rejected my visa at that. He took another step and he said no, our visa is
So your
rejected.
parents are in the US, but you didn't declare it in the form,
Yes, yes, yes. My brother also is in the US.
and he asked you, you have any relatives?
Yeah, he asked me this question three times. He was like, I don't believe you. You tell me, like, you should speak truth. He said me like this at the end.
Uh, I don't know how your parents went, but it's not like they can track by surname. That doesn't work. But something in some data that your parents would have shared somewhere.
They went legally
So,
only. Like from on B1, B2, and my brother on F1. They went.
so B1, B2, everything is on record, right? Because they've gone through the embassy. Uh, whether he's actually seen your parents or not is we don't know because it's not that easy. They'll have to check the records and all. But if he's asked you three times repeatedly, maybe he has seen. We don't know for sure. But like, see, that could be one factor of rejection. But you also have to see other things, like which university did you go to?
Thompson Jefferson University.
Okay. So again, like I think you'll have to the six factors that you see on the screen, right?
Mhm.
University, DS 160, any gap. Plus, if he's asking you 3 to 4 times, any relatives, something would have flagged somewhere in the
Yes,
system.
yes.
Should you reapply? That was your question. Like, see, you can't declare your parents now because you already said no, right? So you'll have to keep it as no. But do keep in mind that if they have flagged it, that information is not, genuine, that's going to be a problem. next time as well.
I
So,
told, like, he asked me like who is funding, so I told that my grandfather is funding me. So because I live my with my grandparents here, so like if I can like make them sure that like I have they have adopted me in the India, like I don't have any relation with it, and it's like, is this a way to like get approval?
so that's what I'm saying. We can say all these, but if they've already flagged it, right? They've already seen about your parents, if they have. We don't know for sure, right? If they have, it'll be a problem next time as well. So I
Okay.
would say try once more, definitely, but go with the, kind of the knowledge that it might get rejected again. Okay. And keep a backup. Don't rely only on US. Keep a backup for another country.
Okay, okay.
So,
Thank you, ma'am.
yeah, just be careful about this. Okay. Yeah.
All right, we'll take last one. We'll ask Indrajot to ask the question. Yeah, Indrajot, you're there? Okay. Ashwarya, are you there? You can go ahead and ask your question.
Hello, ma'am.
Hi, hi, Shwarya.
Ma'am, I spoke to you on WhatsApp regarding my rejection on October 27th.
Okay.
Ma'am, actually, it was at Chennai Embassy, and two other students they got rejected for only one question. That was why this course at this particular university. And
Mhm.
I was the third one in the line, and I was also asked the same question. So I am going to the George Washington University. I had applied for the fall intake, ma'am. I'd got a scholarship of 30%. But since I deferred it to spring intake, I was not eligible for the scholarship and grants.
Mhm.
So I have taken an education loan of 80 lakhs. He asked me this question, why this course at this particular university? So I answered, officer, during my bachelor's in computer science, I worked on various healthcare data sets like the global COVID-19 data, PCOS data sets, and heart disease prediction, etc. That's when I realized I love working with healthcare data sets, and I wanted to dive deeper into a field that involved data science with health sciences. And that's why the George Washington University particularly stood out to me because it offered programs like the MS in Healthcare Data Science, where I could study programming, health sciences, and machine learning all in one interdisciplinary field, which is rare in India and anywhere else in the world. So this was my answer, ma'am, and he just cut me short and he gave me the 214B rejection slip.
Okay. When did you graduate?
Ma'am, I graduated in October 2024. Then I did a 3-month internship and I got my degree in January 2025, ma'am.
And what's your bachelor's in?
A computer science, ma'am.
So, any background in healthcare other than the project, right? That's what you mentioned.
No, ma'am. Yeah, ma'am. I only
Only
have
the project.
projects.
Okay.
Yeah,
So, Ashwarya, see, like we can't justify an entire master's with one project. So, what the
yes.
officer is looking at is computer science.
Yeah.
He cannot see anything healthcare in your
Mhm.
profile. But when you're saying everything is revolving around healthcare,
Yeah.
so I can't believe that you will take a decision to do a master's based on one project of your undergrad. So, right, you need to link it more to the core of your bachelor's. And which master's did you apply for?
Ma'am, I had applied for healthcare data science.
So see, that's exactly this point, right? Inconsistencies in profile inconsistencies. Bachelor's
Mm.
is in computer science. This is healthcare data science without any experience.
Yeah, ma'am.
If there was some experience in between, okay, that's still fine. But right now it's going to look at two different domains.
Yeah, ma'am.
Okay. So get some experience now. Now that you'll have the time, get experience, which is in healthcare and data related. Because
Okay.
the university is fine, right? So then you'll be able to justify it better.
Ma'am, actually, I'm planning to apply. I'm not sure if I have to apply again or not. I'm a bit confused. So I wanted to know, like, my interest is in data science, and now I'm planning to apply for the MS in data science that has like electives in healthcare.
That's also fine. Health should still be there because you justify, you told now all this.
Yeah,
It's all on
ma'am.
record. Okay. It could be data science with concentration healthcare. That's also fine.
Okay,
Okay.
ma'am.
But get some experience. Get something in between your bachelor's and the master's which justifies healthcare better.
Okay,
Okay. Just
ma'am.
do that. And
Yeah.
now that you'll have the time, the months in between, just utilize it to get that experience.
Yeah, sure, ma'am. Thank you so much for your time.
Yeah,
All
no
right.
problem.
Aishwarya, thank you so much. Sachi, I think we'll just pause for some question about Zol, and then after that we can take some generic question from the chat box. Is that
Yeah.
fine?
Yeah, sure.
So, guys, we'll explain a little bit about Zol's offering. If you have any questions, just put it in the chat box, okay? So, as explained earlier, I have seen that there are so many people here who are looking for a scholarship, who have deferred and have lost scholarship from the university. You can also apply for Zolve Global Scholarship, which is specifically for Spring 26 student, and this is a scholarship worth $10,000. All you need to do is put some basic document and apply for the scholarship on the link that is provided in the chat box. And if you want to connect with Sachi or any other experts in a one-on-one settings, and if you want to have a deeper conversation, you can also book a session with them by downloading the Zolve app and go to store section, and you'll find an icon called expert help. And when you click on expert help, you'll get an option to choose from various officers, and Sachi is also one of them, and you can book directly from there, right? We also have a free SIM card that we give to all of you who are going to US, so that once you land in US, your communications are sorted, and we are also giving a free recharge along with the SIM card worth rupees $15. So any questions on scholarship, how to book a session, visa, SIM card so far on the Zolve app? I can check the chat box. If you have any question, just let us know. Just put it in the chat box. Any questions related to scholarship or visa or SIM card? How to apply for scholarship, previous winners, you can check on the link given below. Are not able to sign up. So if you face any technical challenges, you can just write to hello@zol.com, right? You can just email your problems in case you're stuck on this email ID, and they will reach out to you instantly and solve your problem. So I put the email ID on the chat box. You can just reach out to hello@zol.com if in case you're stuck in any of the step. Now, if your visas are done, if you know a friend whose visas are done and they are about to fly to US, or if you are about to fly to US, you can apply for a US checking account and a credit card before you move to US from your home country, right? With Zolve, you get a US credit card in India, and you get a limit of up to $15,000, and you get it without a social security number or a SIN number. We give a credit card to students who are moving to Canada, or if you're moving to US. And you also, on top of that, you also get a overall benefit of $100. So Shiva has asked this question: is this scholarship for selected or for all Zolve users? It is not for Zolve user, Shiva. It is for everyone. And if you're a Zolve user, and if you're going for a Spring 26 intake, you are eligible to apply for the scholarship. All right. So I'll move to Zolve checking account. So checking account or savings account that we have in India, we have checking account in US. So we give a US checking account that will be very safe for your international transfers, right? And if you're taking a loan, you can ask your loan partner to disburse your living expenses in the Zolve checking account. And you don't need to apply for any and you don't need to maintain any particular balance. It's a zero application fee and no minimum balance required, and it's absolutely safe. And you also get a debit card if you want to and take out cash, right? You also have a debit card that will help you with that. um, if you have any doubts, you can just put your questions here. You can also check out our YouTube channel, our Instagram channel. We have a lot of students speaking about our offerings, and it's also a fun channel that you can watch, right? We have posted a lot of visa interview experiences from your seniors, right? You can watch that before you go for your visa interview. It will help you understand the current scenario better. Any questions, guys, you can put it on the chat box. And yes, don't forget to download these all app and order your folder, apply for the scholarship, and also order your free SIM card that you're not going to get anywhere else. Okay, now I'll stop right here. I think Tanvar needs to talk to you, Sachi. We can just give him a chance.
Yeah, sure.
Tan, go ahead and ask your question.
Hi Sachi, how are you?
Hi. All good. Go ahead. Yeah.
The rejections for 425, and I first got refused at Delhi consulate on like 9 June, and then I went to Thailand for my visa interview, and I got rejected twice over there. And in Delhi, I was like asked two to three questions, and first I was asked like, how many universities did I apply to, and I was like, officer, I applied to Stony Brook University, which I was going to, and then I said Arizona State, and then she interrupted me and asked another question, why this university? And I only said like, officer, I chose this university because, and she interrupted me again. And then I asked like another question, and then she rejected me saying, you have memorized your answers.
Sorry, you applied to Stony Brook and ASU
Stony Brook University
and ASU.
and ASU, like I applied to like
Okay.
5 universities in total, but she didn't give me chance to like tell about all.
So you got rejected for Stony Brook?
Yeah.
Okay. Stony Brook usually has a good visa acceptance. Um, what else did you say was asked? Why this university and?
Why this
Go ahead.
university and why US, I think.
Okay. When did you graduate and which course?
I was going for bachelor's and I just graduated from my high school this year.
Okay. You finished your 12th and you're going for bachelor's in which
Computer.
domain? Computer science. Okay. Um, what did you show for funding in the I-20? Did you show loan,
Uh,
family funds?
in I-20, I showed like around 55 lakhs. And I-20 was
Of
asking around 51 lakhs.
55 lakhs of what? Loan, family funds,
Family funds.
family funds. Okay. And in Thailand, were you asked anything? Any
I have
questions?
asked like a lot of questions. Like on my second attempt, I was asked like which university I'm going, why this course, and like why US, and what's your plan in future. And then he like in my DS-160, I made an error. Like in the like, form, I was asked like if I have visited any international like country or not, but I selected no because I haven't visited while filling the DS-160.
Mhm.
But like while giving the answer, she was checking my DS-160, I think, and then she flipped my passport pages to check the immigration stamps, and then she asked me about my funding and rejected me. So I think in my second attempt, it was like the DS-160 error, and also my I-20 was listed general studies, and I told them like I'm going for my bachelor's of computer science.
See, the travel history, I don't think is a reason for rejection because you have to declare information in DS-160 at the time of filling, not you can't anticipate future travel. Okay, so that's okay. But this rejection is kind of surprising because with Stony Brook, usually the acceptance is good. So I feel somewhere your this point, right? The communication and the justification for why course, why university, why US. There might be some things which are not convincing enough.
Might be.
Also, if your I-20 said general studies, but you never address that in the interview, do they even know it's computer science,
Yeah.
right?
I analyzed my interview and I applied
Mhm.
for third attempt because I thought like there were some mistakes in my like speaking and all. And
Yeah.
in third attempt, I was asked like the same questions: which university I'm going to, why this course, and what I will be doing in my future, about my finances, and what my father do. And I prepared all my answers like quite good. And then he
See, quite like if you can tell me one of the answers, then I'll have a better sense of what you've prepared. So let's say why this course? What did you answer for that?
I said, officer, I chose this course because I want to work as an artificial intelligence officer. And for
Mhm.
that, I think I should be doing this course because it will help me to learn the like learned specific modules about AI, and I have also done some research papers, so it also aligns with my past like coursework. And I want to work as an artificial intelligence officer as told, so it will help me better.
Have you studied computer science in your 12th?
No,
Okay. So see, Lakshya, like one very obvious problem. You have just finished 12th, you've not even studied computer science in 12th, and straight away AI.
yeah, but I have done some research
Can you
papers.
see? Doesn't matter because he's not seeing that. He's seeing 12th.
Yeah,
Can you see the leap? It's very unbelievable, unrealistic plan. For somebody who's done a master's, if they talk about AI with some experience in core development, it makes, like, okay, it's a gradual transition. But for a student who's just finished 12th, getting into AI and getting into research will most likely not happen after a bachelor, right? So he's not convinced. So from 12th, what can you do? You can get into development, you can get into full stack, you can get into some domains like cybersecurity. So the answers also need to be real,
but like I also have
right?
some
So,
history like for working as an AI. I have made my
but
own
he's
name as
saying
well.
12th. Like, did you write all this in the form?
But how do they know like about my subjects and all?
That's what I'm saying. He's only seeing 12th. Was it written in the form, all this? That you've done all the research in AI, you have some background in AI.
No,
Was it there in the DS 160?
no.
No. So how does he know? He's looking at your DS 160 where he can see 12th. And your answers either have to be so explicit that though I've done 12th, but I have done this, this, this. And with this, I decided to do it. Either it has to be that explicit, or it should be written in the form, or don't choose such advanced domain.
But
So somewhere I feel the answer structuring in the communication, right? That has to be corrected because there's nothing wrong with the university.
yeah,
So I think just reach back for a proper session so that we can help you right from the form.
but
Okay. And bachelor rejections are easier to fix. So once you get a slot, I feel you should be able to overcome this.
but he seemed very much convinced with this answer. But and in ending, he asked me about my finance, and I told him that I have increased my finance since my last rejection. I increased my funding to 80 lakhs, and I had a education loan. And I told him, and he asked me like what my father do, and I told him my father owns a construction firms from which he makes 30 lakhs a year. And also I'm from Haryana, so we have agriculture as well. And then he gave me a side eye and typed something, and he said I'm returning back your I-20, and he was about to keep the passport in the basket he was having in the bag, but he like pulled the passport back and said no, I can't approve your visa today.
See, again, two issues. One is don't go by the expressions of his officer. He looked convincing or he looked unhappy. That's again not going to give you any information, right? Don't go by their expressions. Second is when you say increase funding. How did you increase funding from you said earlier 55 lakhs to 80 lakhs? How did that happen?
Like my father moved the funds for me to the another
That's
account.
a problem. That's a big problem. That means what? You have transferred funds from somewhere else,
Yeah,
right? Increase in funding suddenly by such a big quantum is actually a red flag. It's not helping, it's harming your profile. Which means what? Your funds were not stable, right? You could move funds in and out. So if you want to improve funding, you improve by adding a sponsor. Like, okay, in addition to my father, now my grandfather is sponsoring me, or my uncle is sponsoring me. Or you increase the loan because loan is given by somebody else, right? You can ask for a bigger loan. But if you say my father increased his funds, that means where did the money come from, right? I have so many questions. Did it come from somewhere else? Is it stable? Is it going to go back after your interview? So your intent is genuine, I'm getting it, but the way it's being approached, right? There are a lot of loopholes
yeah.
in this. So just come back for a proper prep. That'll help you. Okay.
And
Yeah.
for my current update, I'm going for Penn State right now, and I have
That's
increased
it.
my fundings to like 1.2 cr.
Yeah.
Yes.
So again, we have to be careful. Increased funding is like a very like a topic which is very risky, I feel. So Penn State is a better university. Okay, great. That's good. Funding, your justification now for the masters, plus now you have a gap. So what are you going to do in the gap? All of that has to be figured out.
What do you think? Will I be able to get the slot for the spring semester?
Last interview was June.
Yeah, in India, June.
Spring, as of today, looks unlikely. Target summer. summer or fall. Keep that as the target.
Okay.
Obviously prepare, because like I said, US visa nowadays is so unpredictable, right? If tomorrow they decide to release slots, all of you will get a slot. Prepare, but keep both the options. Think of an immediate plan and a long-term plan, and work on
I am
both.
told like I should go to UK and then transfer to US university so that I
Don't
don't
do
get.
that. Once you go to UK, transferring to US, all that, the rejections is higher. If you're keen on US, try once more. If you're okay with other options, then you do UK. But don't make a plan of going to US via UK. That's risky.
Yeah. Thank you. That was it.
Thanks,
Thank you
thanks,
for your
Sakshi.
time.
Thanks, Tanvir. We'll take one last from Pratik. Pratik, if you have a question, you can go ahead.
I have a question that when should I apply for refusal slot? As I have got different admit letter from my university for 2026 fall. I have given interview on 6th October.
Okay, when should you apply? So I would say go more by availability, right? If your next intake is fall, you're already eligible to apply for the interview because you can apply 1 year in advance.
Yes.
So have you got the fall I-20 as well or not yet for the
Yes,
next
yes,
intake?
yes.
You've already got.
I even paid appointment fees for slot booking.
Okay. Then just keep tracking.
Okay,
Okay, what
okay.
is the basics? We need the I-20 in place and we need the DS-160 in place. Plus, it has to be within 1 year.
Yes.
Because fall 2026, you're already within the 1 year. Keep tracking. Whenever you get the appointment, you can go for it.
Okay, and my second
Yeah.
question is that do consulate matter? As I and one other guy was rejected in Delhi, and we had same visa officer, but student from other state who come to Mumbai or Chennai were given visa. They are in same university. We had group, so they told me that their visa has been approved, but my visa and another guy who has given. Interview in Delhi, his
Mhm.
visa was rejected. Plus, the girl in Mumbai, she was being continuous asked question for 25 minutes by visa
Mhm.
officer, but
Mhm.
finally she got visa approved. So Chennai and Mumbai were good, and plus before 2025, my university was having 100% visa success.
Yeah. See, if I were to talk of approval rate as such, there's not much difference. It's not like approval rate is higher for Mumbai, lower for Hyderabad. There is no data which supports this. Rather than the consulate, the visa officer makes a difference. I would say that could be the difference between you and your friends, right?
Okay.
But visa officer is something you can't control,
Yes.
right? You can't choose it. So I would say that for the sake of preparation and for the sake of your sanity, remove this variable of consulate visa officer because consulate wise, there's not much difference in the approval rate. The difference is in the trends, what we discussed, right? What they focus on. So if from here you can figure out that I don't want to talk about university more, I don't want to talk about my profile more, if that sort of preference you have, then it makes sense to choose the consulate. Also, this is for now. Next year, by the time you go, what consulates change, we don't know, right? It might just change to something else.
Yes.
So because of all these factors, I would say that don't fixate so much on the consulate. That's what I feel. Go with
Okay.
your availability because with a rejection, we know that availability will be limited. It's not going to be like a lot of options.
Yes.
So go with your availability and prepare more on the other things. You have a good university that's proven by the fact that others got the visa, right? So think of everything else now. What else could have gone wrong from this and what else you could do for the next attempt.
Okay. And one more thing, what should I mention? Like how many university you have been applied or selected? I told you that one university selected me and another university had some issue. So that's
Yeah.
why they dropped the plan to take that course at this year. So that's
Okay.
why my file was not forwarded.
Okay. So I think mention it exactly like this that I applied to two universities. This university was my preference. I got the admit. For the other universities, they were not able to offer me the admit because of the course, due to some change in the course structure.
Okay, okay, thank
Okay.
you.
And say it that this was my top preference, so I anyway went with it.
Okay,
Okay.
okay.
Yeah.
All right. We'll take a couple of questions from the chat box, Sachi.
Yeah, I'll just quickly finish this port of entry very quick, and then we can, because I think there are one or two students who are waiting for this. So, guys, very quickly, I'll cover this. Just 2 to 3 main points. When you enter US, class registration is a must, right? You need to register for the classes that you would be taking in the first semester. Uh, every university does it differently. Some universities need you to pay the fee and register. Some allow you to just register and then come there and pay the fee. So check with your university what's the process. Port of entry, this is something asked very commonly. Have you registered for the classes? So this should be a yes. Okay. Second, mobiles. So I think all of us have heard of the stories of the incidents, right? Where mobiles, laptops are checked. So do a check on your phone. Don't like delete everything and make it like a brand new and raise more doubts. But I would say do kind of like a check on what you have recent conversation. They tend to check WhatsApp and Instagram DMs, these two things, right? So your recent conversations, if it's anything related to job in the US, working in the US, any political comments, agendas, posts. So do a cleanup on that. Okay, don't erase everything, but do more of like a like a check, like a check of like they say health check, right? So do a check on that and see if there's anything which might raise questions related to working in the US or any strong political ideas, agendas, or opinions. These are the two things. Um, Funding and accommodation are good to have. I would say funding is also important actually. Funding is important. So, whatever documents you presented for your interview, carry it with you, and if possible, get the loan dispersed. So, if you are taking a loan, because the loan will directly disperse to the university, right? So, if that's an option for you, get it done. If not, take the sanction letter and all the funding documents which you took for the interview. Accommodation, if you can book it, otherwise just have an idea as to where you're heading to right from the airport. Where it could be a friend, it could be a relative, it could be a temporary accommodation like Airbnb, but have some sense that where you're landing and what will be your immediate options once you step out of the airport. Okay. I think I'll not touch upon all this. We have again a proper video on this for entering the US, and there's a checklist as well in that video. So you can just message me or DM me. I'll send you that checklist, right? And you can just go through it for port of entry. So yeah, this is I think everything I had to cover. Yeah, Manshi, over to you.
Right. We'll just take a question from AM, right?
Yeah.
He's saying all my savings are in my mother's name in FD, but she's a housewife. Is it fine to show my mother as the financing of my education? What documents do I need to carry? I'm a 38-year-old and will be traveling with my wife on F2. Also, is Duke Mechanical Engineering in AI a good university program in terms of visa acceptance?
Duke as such has good visa acceptance. I mean, as such, course-wise, I won't have the details as of now for this particular course if there's any difference. But yeah, overall, Duke should be okay. In terms of funding, how is it shown in your I-20? That's the question. What does it say in your I-20? Still to file. Okay. So see, you have to be consistent with your I-20. And since you have work experience, I'm like around 10 years, right? Like you mentioned. So I would say that officer would be expecting self-funding. Self-funding can be through own funds and through a loan. So in your I-20, if you can get two sources mentioned, right? Personal and family. That'll be the best way. Personal means loan or your own savings, and family could be your mother. Also, if father is there and he's the one, whose funds are, mentioning father will be better because the one who has an income, they expect that person to sponsor. Since your I-20 is not yet done, you still have a lot of leeway and flexibility. So think of a combination rather than one person. And yeah, then in the DS-160, then you can put it as self. Self means that you're funding through your own loan and savings, and you can mention your parent in the interview. That's the ideal way.
All right. I think Krishna has a similar question. I think it was almost answered. You can add if you want to add anything on that. He's asking, I'm going with a savings fund from parents, which is 45 lakhs, and I mentioned in I-20 it's 43 lakhs. Is it safe to not go without an education loan?
So, Krishna, again, do a check on your parents' income. Is your parents' income more than 40, 45 lakhs? And also the savings, is it covering entirely 2 years of your education? If both are a yes, okay, you can ignore the loan. But if there is a no in any of these two questions, to be 100% safe, I would recommend a loan, and let the loan amount be approximately 1 year of your expenses, total expenses. That means tuition plus living.
Got it. Rinkesh, we want your visa to be approved, but this is a public platform and we'll have to give a chance to everyone. I think Rinkesh got an opportunity to ask his question. So, mm, any other question, Sachi, you see that is different from what we have covered so far?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, should I mention? Yeah, sorry.
yeah, I wanted to ask a question. In fall season, we have seen a lot of scrutiny around social media,
Mhm.
vetting, and something, right? Is it the
Yeah.
similar case this season, or it has something change has happened?
Yeah, similar social media screening is still going on. The great thing is at least I haven't seen people get rejected due to social media, though I saw some posts on Reddit saying that they got rejected. But personally, with the students we've interacted with, we haven't seen anyone get rejected due to social media. So that's a great thing. Second thing, I feel what they're asking is not that complicated. That's what I feel. You just need to declare all your social media, keep it public. So just need to follow the basics for this. And again, do a check of your accounts, right? So anything political, any polarizing comments, opinions, communities, groups, stay out of that.
Yes,
Also,
like
social media comes into effect once you get an approval. So it's more of like an add-on, right? So
this
yeah.
time, once you put your social media profile links on your DS 160, you have to keep it public from that.
You have to keep it public on the day of the interview. It need not be public from the beginning. When you're going for the interview, till you get your passport, it needs to be public.
Right, right. So they are
Yeah.
keeping a check on that day only because I think in the
Yeah.
fall season they have kept on hold and then they did social
Yeah.
media vetting
Yeah.
and then
Social media screening is only done once you get an approval. It's not done for everybody. So
right.
once you have a visa approval, then it goes into social media screening. That is the 221G, and then you get the approval.
All right.
So on the day of the interview, keep it public. That's all. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's all from our side. If you want to add a last note and then we can conclude the session.
Yeah, so just sorry, one question related to this. So someone's asking that I follow great personalities like Prime Minister Trump, Indian Air Force, Navy, government accounts. Is that good? See, I think following official accounts like the Prime Minister's account or any of these accounts, if it's official and if you just follow it, that should be okay. What they're looking for is association in terms of comments, likes, posts, um, which express a lot of polarizing opinions, and also association with communities and groups which do such activities. So that is what you need to be stay clear of. But following public figures and official accounts, that should be fine. That's okay. All right. Yep. Anything else, Manshi, or do we wrap up?
I think we are good to go. If you have any other question, I have posted the WhatsApp link on the on the chat box. I'll post it again, and then you can ask your questions there, and would be more than happy to answer those.
Yeah. I think we'll just take two, three last questions from the chat. A couple of them are important. So if I book a appointment through an agent, should I say that? Please don't declare any agents that you have used. Okay. They are extremely strict about this, that they do not want you to use any agents or anybody else's help to book appointments. So you need to have your account details back, right, before the interview. Even if you have given it to somebody, make sure that you get your account back to you. You should have the login. You need to know the security questions, right? You have to basically own that account and know the process. Be familiar with how a slot is booked. Again, we have a video on YouTube which explains the step by step. So watch that, and you have to know the process, and you should be able to say that I have done it myself. Okay, do not declare any agents, because we saw a couple of students get mixed up in this, and the visa officer wasn't very happy with the fact that you use agents, so don't mention that. Do they have access to deleted Reddit posts and comments? I don't think so. If it's deleted, or comments or posts, no. Deleted accounts sometimes show. So if you delete your account completely, sometimes if let's say you just Google your name and that account, it sometimes still shows. So deleted posts, I don't think they have access. Deleted accounts depends on when you deleted it. If it's too recent, it might still show. Should I mention co-op opportunity to the university? I would say don't highlight it as one of the main reasons. When you justify university, talk more of the other points that we discussed. Co-op is something that let the officer ask. If he asks, you can show again a very neutral opinion that right now you're focusing on the course. If you get a co-op which is relevant to you, you might take it up. But don't make it like the main highlight or the main reason for going to the university. Getting an approval after 214B, how real is this? There are tons and tons of students who get approved after a rejection, so it's very real. It happens. But of course, you need to fix whatever went wrong the last time. Can I leave out Facebook in social media if I haven't logged in from the last 6 years? And do I need to give other fake Reddit account if it is made using a separate email? Can I leave out Facebook? See, if you still have access to Facebook, declare it because that profile might still be active, right? Even if you haven't logged in. So I would say declare it. I'm not sure what you mean by fake Reddit account if it is made using a separate email. So if you're going to declare that email in your DS-160 form, then declare the account as well. Or if you feel that account cannot be traced back to you in any way, it's fine. But again, I think to be safe, it's just better to declare whatever accounts you have. I need to know, is University of Florida good? Yeah, I think University of Florida should be okay. I got rejected in June 2025. When will I get a chance to take a slot? So, like we discussed, slots, it's going to take 6 to 7 months as of today. So, you can expect it for summer or most likely for summer intake. But this is for everybody, like final few words. US visa situation is very, very dynamic. Every day there are changes, every single day. And this time, universities have also um, raised a lot of concern because their classes have not been full, right? Because of students not coming. So there's a lot of pressure from the university side as well. So we never know if this kind of flips this entire refusal slot strategy and suddenly they, open up the slot. So is there a possibility that slots will open earlier? Yes, very much. So I would say that whether you have a fresh attempt or whether you have a rejection, if you're serious about studying in the US and that's your number one priority, that okay, I need to study there and that's my, first priority, then I would say prepare for it. Right from your DS-160 form to answers, you would have got a sense of how to frame your answers from today's session. Plus, taking care of all these add-on things like social media, funding, getting your documents in place. So whether it is today or 6 months later, have a broader timeline, right? Don't be fixated that I have to go for this intake or only. So keep it flexible. And if US is your priority, prepare for it. That's what I would recommend. Because slots can come next month, it can also come after 6 to 7 months. Yeah. And yeah, like Manshi said, reach back. You can reach back to me to resolve, right? To help you in your preparation. And yeah, just be around social media, because that's where we post all the updates. So just keep yourself updated about what's happening.
Cool. All right. I think, yeah, I mean, people have a lot of questions. I would recommend all of you who want, one-on-one session with Sachi to go download the Zolve app and go to store section and click on expert help. And there you will be able to book a session, a one-on-one dedicated session with Sachi where you can ask any questions and discuss your case, right? It's available by paying a very small fee. So yeah, go ahead and book and subscribe to Sachi's YouTube channel. She keeps posting a lot of updates and on her YouTube as well as on Instagram, right? So yeah, go ahead and subscribe Zol, subscribe to Sachi Mall, and yeah, all the best for your visa interview, and we'll connect again. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Sachi, for
The
doing.
best, guys. Yeah. Take care. Yeah.
Bye
Bye.
bye. Have a good day, guys.